let's go and give my first impressions about the game. And I will actually start with going through all the systems so that you can understand the major differences. As I mentioned earlier, the best TLDR I can give you is Tencent took the visuals and some assets, so it's undoubtedly pretty similar to Blue Protocol, and reworked everything else to make it more MMO, and they succeeded with it. Kinda like they did a really good job with that. So, but I will go through all those things later. Let's start with the major changes. As I mentioned earlier, one of the first complaints people had, or major complaints, is so many loading screens, right? So in the Japanese version, this is the first zone. It looks similar, but once again, there are a lot of changes, even though, you know, the overall shape of the first big zone looks similar. Everything else is completely different. Different monsters here, different spots. You can also see fishing, so that's some huge stuff you can do here. I will come to that later. And in the BP, you had like those weird lines every time you entered a zone with a different level range. You had to load. You had a loading screen. That is not the case anymore. So basically, you can start here, run over there without any loading screen. Loading screens only appear if you teleport, or if you move obviously to a different map. Then it will also have a loading screen. Another thing is, like, if you watch. Like if you run through the city or any area, you won't see any difference or barely see any difference visually compared to the Japanese version. But since the game changed to Unity, it's going to be a mobile and a PC crossplay version. You will see the differences once you look a little bit further away. There's some, you know, smoothing happening. But that was obvious that it's going to happen. People don't like it. I can understand that. I wish they had the technology. Pretty sure they have it. They would make the PC version look as great as it looks in, especially the further away objects look as great as it in the Japanese version. But if you play on the mobile, it will be, you know, smoothed like it is. That way people would be more happy about it. But, you know, I don't care about that much, but I understand if people do. Next, we have one of the obvious changes. You have way more ways to travel. So you have still your mounts, right? I have my horse here. You can use to travel short distances without teleporting. But if you go to a high place, you have so many ways to travel. You have you can fly, like in a lot of mobile games or anime games, and then you can obviously wall jump, you can double jump, triple jump. Those are things you'll unlock slowly, but it won't take that long to get all those things unlocked. So that feels nice. Then let's go over all the stuff here. So I will avoid the currencies for now, because it's important to understand all the other things in this game before we go to currency. I know microtransaction, pay to win. I will talk about it. This is one of the major changes, as I mentioned earlier. Sadly, my guild, or our guild, the Star Resonance Database Guild, we will open this guild also for the next test. Hopefully we'll have 10 members. Yeah, we would have 10 members, but some people just join Chinese guild just to try out the contents. I can kind of understand that, because it's a nice thing they added, and it's important that MMO has it. Sadly, Japanese version didn't have it. They had a guild, but there was not more to it. You got more XP if you were playing with your guild members, but that's it. But the Chinese version has so many new things. First of all, you have like your guild page, the basic stuff, and you have something you do as a guild and then progress together to unlock. You will unlock later boons or shrines which you can place in your guild hall. Yeah, there is a guild hall which will open up once 10 people sign this petition. And there you have specific vendors who can exchange the guild's currency, which you get by doing guild activities, for some decent upgrade materials. So it will help you to progress faster. But for now, it doesn't feel like it is mandatory to have it. It's a nice boost, but it's not like a major boost. But it might change, right? I don't mind if MMO leaned more towards community things, but they shouldn't ignore the solo players though. Then of course, here you have all the lists. So this is how, kind of the one of the parts of Guildhall will look like. You can cook there. You can make some drinks. That's also possible. So we'll come to that. Actually, I can explain it. Fishing and gathering ingredients. You can use those actually. So life skill system got reworked. So you have actual use cases for those system. You can make buff foods with fish, with different fish. You can make different buff foods, and then you can also gather flowers and so on, make some cocktails or some other ingredients, which also buffs some of your stats. Pretty useful for harder difficulty content. You have I don't know what that is. I think it's just a buff sauna or something. You will unlock that. You have the merchant, and that's the important part. You have a dummy or testing ground. That's something you had in the open world in the other version of the game, the Japanese version. Here you have it in the Guildhall, which is nice. Some people might not like it, understandable, but I'm fine with it. A small and benefit if you're part of the guild, if you want to test the damage and so on. And of course, the guild activities, dude, this is amazing. Kai, one of our database members, staff, tried this out. He was pretty impressed by it. So at the weekend, you can join these activities with your guild. This is the dance battle with your guild, where you get the guild currency, and this is the normal one. That's a little bit, it's not a lot. Same goes for this one. This is where you split up into 4-man parties, I think, and do some dungeons, or a dungeon and then kill the boss. And the more people participate, the more boxes you're gonna get. And those boxes have some juicy rewards in it, which is a little bit random. So you will get these currencies for sure, and then some random stuff from here, which can be useful. So this is the guild system. Overall, nice. I'm pretty sure they have more stuff they want to add later, because I heard from data miners that there's once again the shrine, the boon they're gonna have, which boosts stats from everyone, which is nice. Now let's go over the talent tree. So it starts pretty basic. The talent system is like a skill tree. You have two different things going on here. First thing is you level up using the books, which you get dropped by a lot of content. The basic stats of your class, especially the main one. This one is, I think, critical, so it increases critical. At some point it was just giving us flat damage boost, but now it's giving me critical boost, which is what I need, especially since I changed my subclass. It might have changed because I changed my subclass to something crit focused. So here one, you go down the line. It's pretty simple, right? I thought at some point, oh man, that's boring. And then to a small branch, but it was still like you get that and then move on. Boy, tier 3. So I could, like, I'm playing an archer who had you have always a pet wolf, which appears once you're in combat and attacks with you. A small disclaimer here: even though you have some similar classes, the skills are completely different. Like the combat is different, right? In a good way. So we have the wolf, which always fights with you, and here are two completely different playstyles. This one swaps your wolf for a falcon or an O, and focuses more on you, and the pet is just debuffing or giving you benefits. This one focuses completely on a pet. So you buff your pet, you let your wolf evolve, you let it crit high, ignore defense of the enemies when it's buffed. So it's pretty insane. So I chose the selfish one. I don't like to have, my pet do everything. And even after choosing it, there are like two playstyles you can go for. You can either go the right side or lean more towards the right side. That sounds weird. And get, buff your skills more. Like your projectiles have a chance to hit more or shoot more projectiles. And then, or you lean more towards the left. Sounds equally weird. Which is more attack speed focused. So these are crits. These are attack speed, which gives you makes you work together with your pet, but pet doesn't deal damage. It just gives you some, it stacks weakness debuffs, or it gives you attack speed buffs every time it attacks. So those kind of things are nice. I love it. So once this opened up, dude, I was like flashed. It also changes some of my skills. They work differently. So this is how the talent system works. The currencies you need to upgrade those things are earned through in-game content. You have to do a solo tower, which gives you most of the stuff you need. That's pretty challenging. You will naturally reach a point where you can't get it done or clear it. So then you will know, okay, I need to upgrade or wait and level up further. And then you clear that and you will be able to proceed further in the talent tree. That's a TLDR of the talent tree. Now, the skill system. So I will make it as short as possible, because it can get deep, but it's enough to understand. Like if you understand the basics, you will know what it's about. So you have your skills. You will see you have 3 pre-assigned skills. These are pretty much fixed. You have your auto attack. You have one of the first skills. You kind of like your ult, and then 4 skills you can choose from the list of skills here. I'm pretty sure they're going to add more skills later. And then you have 2 imagine. We will talk about that later. And so once you unlock a new skill, you can always put it in here and then have it as an active skill. And you see every skill has 2 numbers. This is the skill level, and then this is the enhancement. Those are 2 different systems. So I will turn this off. This one says I need to be level 45 to further level the skill up. Leveling up a skill, for example, I can show it here, costs just the basic materials, so I can just upgrade once. And then it's level 12. There are natural barriers, as I mentioned, as you could see here. You need to reach a certain level to push further. And then you have enhancement. They have natural barriers too. But for that, you use these books. These are rare drops. You can, like in most contents, I will show it later too. You get stuff for your class drop or for other classes. If you play the other class as an alt, you can use it for that class. But if you don't need that at all, you can put it in the auction house, sell it, and buy with the money you make the book you need. So auction house is a pretty huge thing. I will come to that later. So you can use these books to enhance the percentage values of the skills. So the other one increases the flat numbers usually, and this one is focusing on the percentage value of the skills. Then you have the imagine. A major difference here, like you basically kill monsters, they can drop imagine, or you get through story. So imagines, I don't know how they call it here, they might call it souls. Major difference is you transform into those imagines briefly and do the skill. So she gives, for example, cooldown reduction buff for the entire team. He deals, I don't know, the goblin deals damage and then gives me like on hit effect for a few seconds, and so on. So you unlock those, or you get it as a drop. You get shards as a drop. You go to NPC. If you have all the materials needed, you can craft that. So it's something you collect over time and work towards it. So it's like it was the case for in BP, and it's a nice system to have if you want different kind of things. I'm pretty sure they will expand this one to the list of it. So that's the skill system. Let's move on to the solo tower, which I kind of hinted earlier. And this is a huge difference, which I need to mention, which is Trinity focus. This game is so Trinity focused. The other version, the Japanese version, wasn't about Trinity that much. It has like a soft Trinity. You know who was the tanky one. You knew who was the more heal focused one. But this is fixed roles. You have the blade guy, like with the heavy blade, is the tank for now. We know we're going to get more classes with that role. We have a katana, ranger, and the mage as DPS. I might forget some. And then we have the healer. I'm 100%. Oh yeah, the spear is also DPS. And then you have the 2 rings healer, a dedicated healer. The healer also has different paths, by the way. I heard about a discipline, like someone compared it to a discipline healer and something else, like a holy priest or discipline priest, something like that with WoW. I have no clue. I'd never played healer that much, so that's what he said. I assume he knows what he's talking about. So each of the roles have a different tower they have to do. As I mentioned earlier, you need to clear tower to get the materials you need for upgrading your talent tree. Talent tree. So you will hit natural barriers. So I can't get 2-star on this one. I'm not strong enough yet. And every time you do, you will get the tokens also, which are required to unlock new talents. That's a TLDR, and each role has a different tower they have to progress. Obviously, that's a great decision. You can't expect a healer to do DPS on tower, so their task will be like, keep the NPC alive, for example, until the time is over. That's going to be their task. As a tank, survive so many seconds against it. There are different kind of tasks, but just giving you how it can be. And as a DPS, single target DPS, kill the boss fast or kill multiple targets fast within a certain amount of time, and then you get based on how fast you did it or how many you killed 1 or 2 star. That's a solo tower. Quickly before I forget about it, like in the other game, you can always, or even in the field, as long as you're not in the combat, you can switch classes with the same char. I can do that. I unlocked pretty much I unlocked 3 classes already. To unlock another class, you simply have to go to the receptionist. You need an item. In the beta, we got 1 or actually 3 for free. I assume you will get in the final version one for free, and then everything else might be some random event unlock, or you can buy it in the cash shop, which some might not like, but it is what it is. I don't care because I'm usually a max 2-class Andy, so I already like it that they kept the system that I don't need to make a second char. I can just play on the same char, a different class. Yeah, so going back to the costumes. No, wait, the gear, not the costumes. Gear has also two different upgrade systems. I will briefly mention it. I learned of something new about that yesterday, thanks to XD, I think he mentioned that. So, you unlock the systems one by one, so it's not there from the beginning. First one, it's pretty simple. You dismantle stuff. So if you drop a gear which is not for your class or the class you play, you can dismantle it, get some currency, and use it to get the gear you want. You will encounter this pattern throughout all the systems in this game. Every time you get something useless, you can either put it in the auction house or not useful for you and sell it to players who need it, and then buy something you need. Or you can dismantle it and use that material to get what you want. That's always here, which is nice. It never feels great to have get something dropped from a hard encounter, which you have to throw away or just sell to NPC for shitty money because you don't need it, right? Okay, so the 2 upgrade systems. Brief TLDR. The first one is enhancing or upgrading the quality. This requires dupes, so you need a same one. It doesn't have to be same quality. It just needs to be a basic, same bow, same item level or gear score. So 40 bow. If I have it, I can use it as a material. And the very first time you do it, you will unlock the 3rd random stat. It can be anything from your substats. I will show you in a few seconds. But these stats are pretty much fixed. This is your main stat for the class. This changes based on which class you play. So you could equip gear or armor from other classes, but they won't boost your damage as much because they're going to lack the main stat here. So the first time you do the dupe quality enhancement, you get a 3rd random stat assigned to you. This and every other attempt to upgrade your gear, you get that increased, lowered, similar to everything else, but this stat can also completely change to one of the subsets. So it's kind of RNG. This is one of my feedbacks. I wish you had, like, I don't care if it goes up or down, but I don't want to see it randomly roll into other stats. So that's kind of iffy. I wish they will could change that, and I hope they will do so, because I think some people mentioned that or complained about it too. So if you add and you upgrade, you see a lock here. So until you reach the lock, and the lock is at the beginning further on the left side, you will never fail. You will always upgrade. After reaching the lock, it can fail, which means it can go back on quality, right? So the stats gets lowered. But there's a pity system. So first of all, until you reach the lock, once again, guaranteed. My approach was so far to get every item to the lock so that I can never fail. It's always an upgrade to the gear score. And gear score is calculated by a combination of all the stat numbers. And once you get to this lock, you will see these here. So this means the lock is currently at 70 quality. And after 4 attempts, it doesn't matter if I fail or succeed, I think, the luck will be moved to 75, so you can't then fail again. So this is a pity system. So at some point the luck will move further and further, and you will reach 100. You might be lucky and you just tap it 3 times and be lucky and get 200, and then you're done with this stuff. But it's nice they have, like, you know, a luck which moves further and guarantees that at some point you will have a full quality item. That's the first one. The second upgrade system is, you can see it's not based on your gear. So if I change to a different bow, it will have, you know, basically 0 quality, right? But here it doesn't matter. It's for the slot. So I can change my gear. This is permanent, and it will give you this boost. So you boost all the slots. You can upgrade it by using, you know, I think the weapon and the brace. No, the accessories are using the same material. The armor and the bracelets are using the same material, which you can get by doing content or daily exchange shop, by using in-game currencies you earn through activities. I will show that later. So you upgrade your gear, and at certain thresholds you get not only the per upgrade boost, you unlock also, for example, for the weapon you get 24 damage at stage 6. I'm at stage 9. At 12 you get 24. And here it's like a percentage upgrade, but it's recommended to, you know, move everything together, because the higher the level, as in every MMO, the more mats you need. For 10 stones, I could upgrade some other stuff twice or 3 times even. And this one has a chance to fail. If it fails, nothing happens. Basically, nothing happens. Feels bad. There is also a material you can get dropped from Volpos, I think, which increases the upgrade chance by 1%. You can put, you know, many of those in here to just guarantee that you upgrade or increase. I don't know if you can max it out. And someone tested it out earlier from the guild. The lowest they could get the percentage is 50%. It didn't go below 50%, which I hope is something they will keep like that. 50% is enough. 50-50 gamble. I don't want to see like 5% or something. That's going to feel horrible. Yeah, so those are the upgrade systems. Each of those have like the separate upgrade system, but I think they're easy to understand. Here we have the one of the collectible parts. So the more often you kill a specific monster, the more rewards you can get. Those are things you can do if you have done your dailies and you want to just chill in the city, or if you want to go and hunt some monsters to fill your, you know, your Pokédex. That's what Kai called it, the Pokédex. So I kind of agree, right? So you unlock those, and these are normal mobs, these are elite mobs, and of course they're going to give better rewards. You can also see the loot table, what they could drop if you kill them. This is RNG, and this is what you get after killing 15 of those, and so on. And these are world bosses. Currently people are brute forcing world bosses by overwhelming with numbers. It's like 100 people attacking the boss for like a half an hour, 40 minutes, just to have a chance to get the Imagine. It's insane. Yeah, but you can do that here. The wardrobe. Okay, so you have the costumes. They look pretty nice. I will talk about later. Some of them are gacha. Some can be bought directly from the shop, which is what a lot of people wanted who don't like gacha. And you have costumes you can craft by using mats you own in-game, or blueprints you unlock. And I won't go too deep into the costumes. So you have one pieces, you have separate pieces, you have accessories which you can equip. The important part is, for example, I go to this one, which is a huge change, a huge W. You can do RGB changes to your costume, to each of the parts, and that's something you can do to all the costumes. Amazing. A lot of people love it. I like it too, and that makes like everyone look unique, even though the amount of costumes we have in this test is limited. You can always, you know, change how your character looks. Don't look at my very first stream on Twitch with this chart, because I clicked on this one and just went with it because I didn't want to invest time into making my chart. And dude, after a couple hours, I'm like, okay, I have to change it. Do I have to make a new chart? No, I don't have to. I can just go into the shop and change everything, and done. You can also have presets, by the way, and then use it. Then we have the mount. As explained, you have mounts you get through quests, you have mounts you get through gacha, you have mounts you get through events. Each come with their normal walking speed and movement speed. They have also sometimes some skills, just movement skills. The horse has a dash. The balloon or the ball gives you anti-gravity buff for a couple seconds. This is a useless charge skill from the basic mount. And there is also the mount you could see earlier on the screen. This is a mount you unlock after a while, and or through Gacha. Is a two-seater, so basically someone else can sit there on the other shoulder, and you can just travel together. I think it's a really nice idea. I love it. Then you have your own house. You can always inspect a player and visit their small house or room. You can customize it. This is my player identity card. That's something you see if you apply for a group and so on. But you can check out the room of a player. I'm pretty sure you can add some furnitures later. For now, you can only do the achievement badges here. I achieved nothing to real, and then some the best screenshot you captured, you can display it here. But it's nice to have. I'm pretty sure they're going to expand on that later. This is a TLDR quest. So if you missed something, if you didn't understand something, you can check it out here. You have for those fishing boys. Oh, I hate fishing. But hey, it has its place here now. Fishing, once again, you need fish to cook some juicy stuff. So they have a purpose. There are rare fishes. There are different kind of fishes. There is even a whale you could fish. And then, the length and star rarity and so on. You have a catalog of stuff you have caught so far. You can use the general currency to get some bait. You need it for each attempt, or upgrade your stuff to find or get better fish. And then you have a leaderboard for the best AFK fishing people. And you can't even AFK fish, to be honest. But yeah, so you have a leaderboard by fish category. You see who caught the longest, the biggest one. You can also see in the guilds. I had to do some fishing for some quests. I caught one which was 24 centimeters, and Stick got 128. So yeah, that's that. And so you can check out all the other categories of fish and the global and the guild ranking. And you have also a TLDR of how many fish you caught, how many rares and so on. I'm not a fishing guy, but I know people love this shit, so enjoy. And of course, we have what I mentioned earlier, the traveling things. So double jump, wall jump, those are things you unlock with higher level. I can, just usually it consumes stamina on the right side, but in the city you don't consume anything, so I can just glide all the way up and then fly and so on. And of course we have the pictures, the images you saved, and questions, and you also have like two skills. For example, this one is gliding and this one is dashing. You unlock it by visiting special place on each map. Since we can only go for the first map for now, or do content there, we unlocked on these two things. Sadly, my character is bugged, and that's something I have been plagued since the start. And I talked with some Chinese people. It seems to be the case that I'm the only one with this bug. So that my E-dash skill should break through barriers to get some chests. But I can't do that. Some of my skills on I wanted to play a katana class, but I couldn't because 90% of katana skills didn't hit the enemy. So it was weird, but so I had to change to archer and everything was fine. I can't dodge any AoE puddles on the ground. It doesn't matter where I am, I'm gonna always get hit. So it's a weird bug. I think something triggered it when I created my char, and since then some stuff are bricked for me. I reported it. I hope no one else encountered it. It seems like no one else encountered it. It's not ping based. I tried everything. It didn't help. So yeah, that's a sad one. Otherwise I would have played katana. But I'm happy that I was able to test this class. I will show some combat later. So that's that. So we have only a few things left, and then we are done with this video, and I will give you my final impression. Let's talk about the shop. So now that you know all the systems, so you have the Rose Orb, the unbound one, So this is what you get if you pay real money and buy rose orbs, and you can use it to get costumes. So it's mostly here costumes. Actually, it's all costumes here. You can directly purchase costumes without going for gacha. You can also use the player auction house part to, similar to a lot of games which came out recently in the West. You can sell your rose orbs to get Luno, which is the in-game currency, but that one is just, you use that Luno currency to only get stuff from the auction house, right? And people who sell their in-game currency to get the rose orb, they get bound rose orbs. That's the difference. So you get bound rose orb, or the rose orb you get directly from purchase, by buying it or paying real life money. I will go through the use cases of all briefly in a few seconds. So next we have here what you can buy with the bound rose orbs. You can buy, those books. These are daily stuff. I should buy this. I will buy all this. So these are the daily stuff you can buy. You get a lot of those bound orbs through doing daily activities, through achievements. So you get plenty of those. I'm buying out everything here. I never bought anything. So I unlocked most of the stuff through, or actually all of those through achievements. So I could buy out the daily shop without having to spend anything. I hope this will be the case also for the release. I don't need any of the other stuff. I think I bought out the bow one. I will just buy the book, which I need to upgrade my talent. Okay, I don't need all this. I don't need the blueprint. So if I get the blueprint, I can go to an NPC and craft that. This is like an RNG cube, which you get through killing bosses and so on. It can give you upgrade mats too. The next tab is also bound and some unbound one. Here you can get mounts, or you can get more costumes. This is the item you need, which you can buy with bound. So basically you can get the in-game currency, trade it with people, get this item, or get the bound rose orb, get this item, unlock a new class if you want to play more class on the same class, same char, sorry. And then some emojis, name changes, some bubbles you can float around just to look cool. Change your appearance or colors, I think was that. So these are all actually all cosmetic. This one is revive orbs, so I will come to that later, why you need revive orbs, why the content is actually challenging compared to Blue Protocol. And these are like all in-game obtainable currencies. This is something you get through doing dungeons, killing elites, and doing quests, daily quests, and so on. You can exchange that daily or weekly even for these kind of upgrade materials. You have this one, which is for achievements. I think achievements. If you do all the achievements, or the more achievements you unlock, also the weekly raid, Dragon Raid, gives you that, I think. You can get some other costumes and also the revive pill. This one is for doing contents with other people. More emotes, more blueprints. This is the golden ticket. It's something you can get from the gacha. So if you are unlucky and you don't get the costume, you can still collect the golden tickets and exchange it for costumes if you don't want to buy the costumes directly. And these are things you get by dismantling blueprints and costumes you don't need but also can't trade. And you can use that to unlock other blueprints you need. So once again, that's the overarching system, which I explained at the beginning. Anything you don't need or can't sell, you can dismantle and use the currency to get something you want. That is a great thing to have. So this is the daily shop kinda. Now let's talk about the auction house. So we have where you can buy stuff from people who listed it. So I have here everything. You can see players listed that, and I could buy if I need it. Then there's this category. What was this? These are the imagines and some, the gacha tickets. People who don't want to use it, they can sell it to other people, and other people can collect it and then buy the 6-seater, 2-seater mount, for example, or exchange it for the 2-seater mount. You have the imagine shards. These are not full imagines. So you need a couple of those to craft the imagine, but if you drop an imagine shard from a world boss, you can sell it here and people can buy it and craft the imagine. The imagine don't give you any gear or a gear score boost, but they each come with a unique skill, which based on your class might be useful for you. And this is the selling part. You can put like 6 items, and I just sold the ticket. Yeah. I got some money. I will use it later to buy some stuff I need to upgrade my class further. But you can list up to 6 items, and there is a range you can list. So you can't. This is a great thing they added. So you can't just put it for high and bot RMT. It won't completely avoid it, but it's a great thing to reduce RMT, and also some player-to-player trade. Hey, I will put it for 1, and then you can buy it out, but give me something else, something like that. And this is the exchange I talked about earlier. You can use Luno to get bound rose orbs, that's that part, and then or you can sell your orbs which you got through real life money to get Luno. Bam, done. No, actually not. We have more things to check out. We have this window, this daily login, and if you do quests, you can get more rewards, more bound rose orbs, and so on. That's one of the stuff. So every time you clear some milestones, you will get free rewards. This is like basically a tutorial codex. Then you have this is the window you should check out every day. It tells you, hey, these are your dailies. Did you do it? I didn't do any dailies yet. These are the daily content you can do. These are the more difficult weekly content or repeatable content. These are listed here. So the guild weeklies, the weekly rate, the dragon rate, and there was an event. So if there's an event, it will be listed here too. Then this is your personal tower. It tells you, hey, check out if you can do more. There's also a separate tower which is challenging, which is a 4-man tower. I will try it later today on the stream, but that's also one thing here. And then some just goofy activities. Hey, you want to fish? You want to cook? You want to unlock more stuff? Like it reminds me, hey, what about unlocking more rare stuff, or trying to kill piggies and get rare drops? And then also repeatable dungeons. That is something I would love to show to you guys fast. So if you follow the main quest, you will unlock higher dungeons or better dungeons. So you can basically go there and do the dungeons. Like you can do dungeons twice per day, the quest version. That can be also matchmake, so I can go there and click on a button and matchmake and play with other players. So this is my daily dungeon. It says twice per day here, and then I will be queued up with people. It's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. But then you have these here. These are all the dungeons you unlock, but in a repeatable version. They don't, they give a decent amount of currency and have a chance to drop costumes or costume related stuff, but the difficulty is insane. So on the other dungeon, you can die and revive after a couple seconds without using anything. On this one, if you die, you have to use the orb to revive. But even that won't be that useful if you lack damage or if you don't do the mechanics. So these dungeons have proper mechanics. Overall, the mechanics, even from the first dungeon, are way better than most dungeons, sadly, in the Japanese version. And then you have the normal difficulty. You can't matchmake it. You have to find people using the LFG, right? I think it's great because once again, this is not something you can do without a healer usually. You need proper trinity, at least a healer. And this is insane. This is way harder difficulty. It adds another modifier to it. You have to work through it. For example, there is a modifier which randomly links 2 players. And you have to get close to each other. Otherwise, you will deal less and less damage over time. There's a debuff which ticks down from 25 seconds. If it reaches 0, you will most likely die in a few seconds. So basically, before it reaches 0, you pass it on to the next player, and then he passes it on or she passes it on to the next player before it reaches 0. So that's some difficult mechanics you have to do while doing boss mechanics. Boss have mechanics too. So those are the daily content. And I think now we are briefly looking at the inventory. No stash, a pretty generous limit. Everything stacks properly. There's no double slots taken by the same item just because it has a different name. And of course, we have the last one, which is achievements and battle pass. You have battle pass, which wait a second. which is this one. So you have a premium track, a normal track, as in every game nowadays. You can level it up to get BPP, Battle Pass points, which you can use to upgrade another progress-related item. Content, which is the Armband. So you can get some boost to your stats. You can get some juicy perks which heal you if you're low HP. You can have up to 3 perks active. I unlocked the third one once I reached level 70. And they use a currency and the item tied to battle pass points, and that's why the battle pass gives you this kind of benefit. I hope they will. This is the only system I'm skeptical about, because this gives you a decent advantage if you have premium battle pass. So I have to be honest there. So I'm only worried about this system. Mostly, I hope there will be some changes, or I hope I am misunderstanding something here. But that's how it looks for me currently. This is how many points you can get maximum per day, or for your battle pass to upgrade, or experience wise. You can do your dailies, and then you get a decent amount of points, and you can do repeatables to max it out. That's something I would definitely do every day. Then you have the achievements. Every time you get achievements, as I mentioned, you get the points, and you get a currency which you can use for the daily shop. This is the battle pass points exchange shop. This is the item you need for the armband upgrade. Once again, skeptical. And I think the last thing is the gacha. Everything cosmetic or emojis and so on. You have a pity system. I think it's 70. After 70 pulls, you're guaranteed to get a legendary. After a little bit less pulls, you get guaranteed purple. And you have a daily limit, because it's China, I assume. You can only buy 50 or like 5 attempts, or like 50 tickets. Use 50 tickets per banner. And then it says, hey, you spend enough money or tickets. Don't do it anymore. I don't mind if it's something we will have in the Western version too, but it's unlikely, because it's per Chinese law that you have to regulate it. Well, that's that. And overall, I think this game is looking great. Way more MMORPG like. There are some stuff to improve, especially please fix the bug with Katana. I hope I won't have the bug next time. There are also some archer skills I can't use because they don't hit. Anyway, sorry it took so long. I think it was like blabbering for 30 minutes. I will just upload it as it is, and let's see. It's like I think I went through every system. I might have missed a few stuff. Sorry if I did. But I hope this gave you guys an overview of things, my first impression, and my hopes, and so on. Yeah, thanks for listening to my TED Talk.